Welcome to Cloud Training for Enthusiasts. My name is Dr. Patrick Aigbogun. We're actually talking about Linux and the framework of Linux, how Linux is built on, why infrastructure are you, and why many infrastructure are built on Linux, and what is freepreneur. We have talked about freepreneur. Then freepreneur. Then we've talked about the bash, why bash. We're talking about open source. You understand me? Please, a minute, please. I'll be back, a minute. Oh, I have to. So the freepreneur is now the father of everything. So that's what we're trying to talk about. Why freepreneur? Why Linux? So some people were asking me, why it's not possible for us to do this training without necessarily installing Linux? Yes, it is possible, but that was how I actually started my learning. But it affected me. So I don't want it to affect anybody. It affected me because I didn't start from the scratch. I started from the middle. I was trying to, you understand. But I now realized that when I got to some destination, I realized that it would have been better. I would have been more better off if I actually started from the main source. So all of you are going to be having the opportunity to start from the main source, which is understanding what is called open source. So I'm going to share documentation with you where you learn about open source, the bash and everything. So because of this language, bash, which is one of the most popular scripting language. And why is it popular? It's because it's very simple. Bash and Python. Python and bash is they are the leading language right now. Why? It's because they are so simple. People don't want trouble. They don't want work, They don't want to suffer themselves. After you've done so many things, you will not be learning another language. You understand? We are not computer. We are not machine. Let the machine take care of himself. So we need something that is very simple for us to learn the machine language, not necessarily understanding all those useless framework in programming. That's one of the reasons why people are running from IT, because of the word coding. So this bash helps us to reduce that gap between human and the machine. And this bash, most of the Linux distribution, it comes with it free. Even a Mac operating system have to adopt it. You understand me? Though some operating systems have not yet fully adopted it, like Windows. Windows is still using PowerShell, which is close to bash. You understand? But bash is similar to everywhere. So bash is what the framework that open source have used to gain more strength. So that's the reason why I want everybody to have Linux in their system so that we will enjoy this language, bash. So if you are using Ubuntu or you are using Mac OS, we know we are using the same language. So just like me, I want to teach this class. I cannot be teaching French and English together, right? I want everybody to be using the same language, which is bash. That's the reason I say everybody should install Linux. Now, the kind of pattern, the way the file is being arranged, Linux and Ubuntu are close. Like I say, Linux and Mac OS, they are close in terms of the way the file system is arranged. So if you can work in Linux system, you can also work with Mac. You'll be able to work across platforms, so that when you join any company and they're using different framework, you will not be afraid. Like you don't need to have to go through knowledge gap. So all this being said, this is the reason why Linux is there. One, because it's a freepreneur. It's a business that is open source. Are you getting me? That's meaning of the word freepreneur. People are making business from using the word community based. You understand me? So the reason why people also use Linux, the reason why we also use Linux is because support. Because the community, there are so many easy supports. Like imagine day for yesterday, somebody was having an issue installing on Windows. You saw we went to Ubuntu, we went to YouTube and we got something. We went to Slack. We're going to different channels that are open source that people come in. You can get solution. So what we want is solution, and it's free. So what, can anything beat that? You understand? So that's the reason why we are using Linux, and the framework is very easy. Now let's talk about Bash. Bash is another programming language that is very close to human language. I told you it's a script, meaning I use interpreter. Meaning if you just like somebody is standing before you and maybe I speak Benin, you don't hear Benin. Somebody speak, maybe you speak Yoruba or you speak German. So we need somebody that when I talk to, the person will be able to communicate to in German. So this Bash script, it understands machine language very well. You know how to instruct machine language very well. However, it's also very close to our language. For example, I just explained before, list. List means ls. So is anything as simple as that? You understand me? Echo, we already know the meaning of the word echo. When you say echo, echo means say it out. Abi? So echo means say it out. It's same thing as say it out. So like which other thing? Like PWD. Thank God for social media. It's almost the same thing as LOL. You understand me? LOL means laugh out loud. PW means print working directory. Print. So, and the word print means to bring things out. Abi? So directory is just a collection of files, just like a folder. So print working directory. You understand? So you see as simple as those languages are. So CD, which is something that's changed directory. You understand me? So that is why people are enjoying it. So you just don't need to cram many things. You just need to just know it. You understand me? And interesting thing is that it does not have so many indentations. It has some little indentation, except if you are running it. Except if you are running it, if you are running it if you are running it as a function, yes, you have to understand the indentation. But it's also very easy. Indentation means when they talk about indentation, it means something like this. You see, from here to here, I'm starting from 0. You see, yeah, this is indentation. Meaning start from line 1, start from line 2, start from line 3. You know, this is the meaning of the word indentation. When you hear the word indent, it means you can start here, you can start here, you can start here. So it's not something that is very far. So don't see like this guy started speaking grammar again. So indentation just means where the line should start. Remember when you are writing a letter, if you want to start a paragraph, you have to go to the next, Abi. That's what it means, Abi. For example, I want to write a paragraph. You can either give it a double line or you start here, you indent. If something starts indentation, like it means that it's starting from a new line. That is what also means in programming language. So indentation means start from the next. Just to tell computer that this is a new expression. So now that's one of the reasons why I say you guys should go and learn Linux on Hash, is because Linux on Hash will just give you, it's just like an egg. I see a new people coming into cloud as a chicken inside the egg, right? You need to be hashed for you to be alive. You understand? That's why I say go and do Linux on Hash. I like that word on Hash, meaning you're hashing yourself. If you're on Hash, immediately you finish that course, which is a simple script, you're supposed to be hashed out of the egg. And you now form a baby DevOps engineer, like, okay, I'm out. You understand? I love that language, and it was owned by Cisco. They will make it free on open source to everybody. So now let's talk about how to use it. Now, the extension, just like the way whenever you want to, let me talk about another interesting thing about Freepreneur. Some of us may not have known how to use, don't know that in Google now, Google have decided to be doing so many applications. That's the reason if some people don't even buy Microsoft Suite anymore. Because why? If you have a Google account, you have most of the application that is in Suite. Like if you want to use Microsoft Word, you come here. This is document. If you want to use Excel, you come here. If you want to learn about, you want to do for financing, you come here. If you want to do slideshow, you come here. If you want to blog, you come here. So you can see. And eventually you discover that instead of paying $20, $50, most of us, some country, they don't pay, right? They use crack version, right? But you don't need to use crack version. You can just come here and use an open source. Meanwhile, I can be working, I can share something with you, and you'll be working on it too. You understand me? And all of us can be collaborating together in real time. And this is what Google have done. And I'm not paying for it. It's free. I don't need to get any license to use it. So you can see the power of freepreneur. Now imagine, as I mentioned to you now, free. I know you guys have interest. So that is one thing about freepreneur. So now let's go to Linux. So the extension of bash is called sh. So meaning of, if I say text.sh, it means that I can write some things inside this file and I run it. It works for me. So if it works for me, I send it to you, it's going to also work for you. For example, I can write some things I want computer to do for me. And when I say, okay, computer, I want you to go to this directory, open this directory, create this file, and open this file. And at the end of the day, you just discover that I can also ship it to you and you all run it, and you also give you the same process. So that's one of the interesting things about bash, because you can, it's cross-flat platform. And because most of the operating system in Linux base are based in share and based in bash, you don't need to be installing the interpreter. You just need to just run it, but you just need to have permission to run their file. So the bin bash, bin ash, that's bin bash. Then bin ash bash. Anytime you see things like this, it means that they are telling the computer to switch to bash. Bin bash, that's bash. This is bash, but the meaning of bash means B-A-S-H. So it means you start seeing bin bash, as we are going to be doing more. We're going to be seeing using this. Now let's play now. Everybody just open your screen, share your screen, and if you have any question, go ahead and ask. If you don't have, let's go there. Now, so the question is, why do we need to come here and use here, this terminal? Why? Can't we just avoid it? We can avoid it. In fact, that's one of the power that Windows had to overcome so many problems, because they discovered that people don't want to learn code. Code was very hard. So you just wanted something that you just click, and you move, you know. It helped. It was able to bridge that gap. But time has come where you have to, come on, I want to close this thing. I'm closing on that thing. Time has come where you just have to now learn how to quickly, because see, if I want to do anything, I imagine I'm coming here, I have to scroll down to click. For example, I want to open my file. I have to click here. Then I have to come here. I have to click here. I have to click here. Then I'm clicking. Okay, let me go to a folder here. I click here. For me to delete this, I have to right click. I have to look for delete. You understand? Before I complete doing this, before I complete all this process, somebody that is already using the command line interface have even done most of this work. And there are some hidden things that you are not even aware of that is in your file, that is in your system. Because why? This graphics is good for anybody to use. But if you want to do fast thing, it's more than, you may have some issues. So that is why in every system, there's always two ways to work on it. Whether you use the clicking, also known as GUI, graphics user interface, or you use the command, which is called command line interface. So when you hear of CLI, and CLI means command line interface, and you get me, or text user interface, or anyone, but it's mostly known as command line interface. There are GUI, which is graphics user interface. They are just easy way to work around it, but this one is faster. I'm not saying that this one is better, but this one is faster than this. Now, because this one also provides room, like a form of a script, people prefer to use here, because why? Any command I run here is the same thing that will happen in the other way around. So it seems like it's easy, it's faster, just that some people, the language was a barrier then. Now the language has been breached using the word bash, has been breached. So meaning that issue has fully left. You can see it's in bin bash. If either I run bash here, I type bash because I'm using Mac, or I don't type bash, it's still going to work because our default is bash. Control Z, or Control X. It's still, at default, it's still bash. Hash. You understand me? It's still bash. So now let's go into the real scripting now. Okay, now let's compare this command line interface and our graphics user interface. Can we compare it? Now, I want to, immediately you open your system like this, it's going to, immediately I run my system, you're going to say something like this. Or if you are using Linux, you're going to see something like this. We call it desktop, right? But it's actually called home directory. But what we see here is desktop, but it's actually called home directory. Home directory is whenever you load a system, that first place that open for you to see is actually called the home directory. But most times you see things that are in your desktop, right? Because desktop is the first interface, but it's called home directory. The same thing, when you open your terminal, the first place that open up is also known as home directory. So now let me open my home directory now. Let me close here, close the terminal. Let me open here. This is my home directory, meaning the first place that opens. So there's nothing different between here and when you load your system, that thing that open up is also known as home directory, meaning it's the first place. Now, if I want to know where I am, I can say pwd. Pwd means print where I am. It will tell me I'm in my home. You can say user, I'm in my home. I'm using this user. Now, if I also come here in your graphic user interface, you see that you're also in your home, but most times it shows your desktop, what's in your desktop. That is what it's called home, but it's actually regular home. Now, if I want to move to my document, I come here, I can see all my document here. But in this place, if you say, I want to see what is in this place, you know, because it's text, it's not like graphics, you don't see anything. You have to follow C. To see, you say, okay, list everything that is here, meaning ls. If I say ls, I mean list everything that I see here. You will now see that despite I did not see anything, but there are actually things here. You can see my document is here, other document is here that are not visible. You understand? For example, now you see this MDX solution. If I come here, this is my graphics. I go to my home directory, which is everything here. Okay? But you can see here, I'm not seeing most of the things. I'm only seeing download, desktop. There are some hidden files that are here, but I can't see it. You understand? I can't see it physically because they are there. It's not that they are not there, but they are in my home directory. So if I find my way to go back, you can see I find my way to go back and find my way to get to the home directory. That's what I'm seeing. But in this command line interface, you can see where I'm actually in. So I can decide to now, okay, let me click, instead of clicking this document, I will say CD. CD means change where I am now to where I want to go to. So I will now pick document. So I can just like start DOC. Now, instead of typing the document completely so that you not make mistake, you can just type tab. If you click tab on your screen, it will automatically correct it because complete it. Imagine if I type D, I type tab, it will show you all the D that I have here. So where I'm going to is DO, which is document O. If I type it now, as you can see, that remove DE because DE means desktop. Abi, DO, we only have two DO here, which is document and download. Don't take note, it's case sensitive, meaning the first letter is uppercase. That's the meaning of the word case sensitive, meaning is you have to use the right case, that you are using the uppercase or the lowercase. That meaning of the word case sensitive. So now these two document. So now I'm going to document, I'm not going to download. If I now type C, you see, it will say, okay, it's only one C that we have here. That's document. If I say press enter, I'm already in my document. If I say PWD, meaning print working directory, show me where I am. Print means show, working means where I'm working now. Directory means the folder, meaning show me the folder that I am. If I press enter, you see it's telling me that I'm in my document. Let me open to zoom out. with Mac, you press Command plus sign. But if you are using Linux, you press Command Shift plus sign. So you can go, everybody can share your screen and just walk along. Please, let me enable it. You can just share your screen. Everything I'm doing, please share your screen and do it. Yeah, so that it will start mastering us and we'll start getting used to it. Let me see how my share, allow everybody to share. So you can share your screen and just walk along and play along. Now to change means, now to go back, whatever you want to go back. To go back is simple. You just press dot, dot. You just come here and press dot, dot. Dot, dot means back. But the dot means year. So dot means year. Dot, dot means back. What about dot, dot, dot? It doesn't mean anything. So don't think that you put dot, 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 it means that it's going back, back, back. No. Dot, dot means back. Dot, dot, dot does not mean anything. So it's only dot, dot means back, back. What if you want to go back, back, back? You say dot, dot, slash, dot, dot, slash, dot, dot, slash. So slash means directory. So the more you dot, the more you slash. You understand me? Dot, dot, slash, dot, dot, slash, dot, dot, slash. So you are going back, 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 back. So that is another thing. So understand that pattern. Dot, dot, slash means forward. Okay, now I'm in my document now, ls. See all the things I have in my document. See, there are so many. Right? There are so many. Now let's look at everything I have here. If I go to my document here, you can see if I click document here, all the files that I have here, they are also the same files that I have here. Remember, I told you to show everything that you have here. You say ls, mean list. List means to take a list of something now, to take a list of a document. So mean show me, meaning of what list. List everything I have here. That's meaning of what list. So if I say list, you can see it's listing everything that I have. If you count all the documents that I have here, and you come here and count all the documents that I also have from the folder that I opened before, you see that they are all the same. They are all the same. If I come here, you can see they are all, there's nothing different from the terminal. As you can see, this is document. They are not, there's nothing different from these two. If you take the list. So every file you see here is the same file that you see here. Just that we are entering it in different way. This one we are using command, which is also known as test. This one we are using graphics. But you see, before I enter here, I have to click 2 times, double click it. But this one, I don't need to double click it. I just need to press a simple, like laugh out loud or thank God it's Friday. So you see, thank God is Friday takes forward. If I say TGIF, meaning somebody will understand like, oh, it means thank God it's Friday. But I'm discovering now that Nigeria and some other international companies are now using short word to now communicate. Can you be talking to your friend, you now say LOL, and you're talking to your colleague, you say TGIF. No, that one is supposed to be computer. You understand me? You're talking generally. You're not supposed to be using TGIF. I'm afraid that some people will even use it to write application letter for a job. They say, sir, TGIF. I just want to let you know that I love, instead of using love, you now say LV, you understand? So that is not right? Because it's actually supposed to be something slangs, you know? So computer the same way, you're supposed to use it to communicate. It's just like a joke though. It's not really something you should take seriously. So now this is ls, means list, cd means change directory, then pwd. I think we have learned those 3 languages, right? Now, PD. Now let's clear. To clear your screen, if it's too loud, you just press CLIE arrow, meaning just normal clear. You can see it's very simple, right? The language is very simple. So you see, it's different from every other language. Like if we are using SQL, SQL, you have to do /DT. You understand me? Drop down table /DU. You know, sometimes all the / makes it complex. Now let's go a little closer about bash. Now let's go. You know, if we say ls, yeah, we can see everything here. But with bash, with script, you can discover that you can even go deeper. You can say list option. Anything you see dash here means option. If I put -all means list all. -- means option. So you can see it's going to ask you, what is it saying? That I should name all the document I want to name here. Okay, usage of ls means for color, when, DT format, and file. So if I use this one, okay, I'm going to be giving it a command. Okay, let's say list. Then this actually in some, I think if you try it on bash, I think it's going to be supposed to give you something different, right? Can you try it on bash and let's see what we have? But there are so many files that are here that are not even, that you cannot see physically. So the word -- means if you want to spell it fully, and dash means if you want to use small. If I say version now, you see it's telling me, okay, this is, well, excuse me, clear. Let me clear it so that it can be more bold. Okay, if I say bash and VA, to tell me I'm using version 3.2. Now it has moved to bash. To come out from this bash, normally you're supposed to press Control V, but because you are using bash as default, you know, give me what I want. Now let's say bash -v. It will tell you the version that I'm using. The same thing as bash -version. To tell you the same version. So this word -- is if you want to spell it fully. Then -v means if you want to abbreviate it. You can see, so it's almost the same thing as language now. So what's hard there? -version, -v. So you see, it's very easy to learn. So that's the reason why bash is going to take over. I don't want to use this terminal now because it's going to bring some, I want us to still keep using what we are using so that it will not bring any complication. But because I want us to climb the ladder quietly, not. So if I say ls now, and I put -a, a means all. So it's going to list not just all, it will list some hidden files. For example, you see this dot. These files here, you will not see it in, for example, now let's go to our document, cd document, docro. Now, if I say ls, you can see it shows only the things that the graphics is displaying. Although you can also list it and also find the hidden file by going to click show hidden file. I think there's a place where you go to and click show hidden file. So, okay, this one, you will now come here and you now show, look at version, comment, tags, then where is hidden file? Okay, sometimes you even need to program it, but in Windows, you can even go to hidden files. There are some hidden files inside that you will not even see, that at default is not going to show. Now, let me close this. So now the same way in here, there are some hidden files here. If I say ls-all means all the file, it's going to show both the files that are physical. You can see this dot and this dot, this local, they are not found in this physical place. In this physical folder. You cannot see it here. But if you use ls version, it will tell you everything that are here. Now, if I want to check, okay, who has permission, who does not have permission? If I say ls now, which also means list, and I say dash L, what is going to give me is that clear. So if I say ls means, and I say list both the permission, you see, it will tell me, imagine, see this one, say D the arrow W this. What is it trying to tell me now? This thing, this file here is a directory. If you see D arrow means it's a directory. So this one that does not have D on top, it means it's a folder. This is a directory, this is a folder, and this directory, there's a the owner of there's a root. This one talks about the root, meaning the owner, meaning, I told you in a system there's what we call the root, meaning the person that bought the system, that had the license to use every part of the system, is called the root owner, meaning the owner, the real owner, the owner. You know what I'm talking about? They say this guy is the son of the root. It's a root person, meaning the person is the owner, is naturally from this place, is the person that owns the system. So the person that have a system, that have the capacity, the owner of a system is called the root. So if you have the system, meaning you should have the permission to use every part of the system. Now, the other part is called the group. The group means I can decide to group people together and also give them permission. That means the group. Then we also have another part, which is also known as the user. They also have the last part, which is known as orders. So I can decide to create a user from the root. Maybe I don't want to be using my root. I don't want to be letting everybody to know that I'm using overall power. The challenge is that if you try that and somebody mistakenly hijack your system, my dear, you have lost the right to that system. That's why it's not secure to use your most powerful. Because that's the reason why president of a nation is not in the street doing policing work. Because if you shoot him, you don't die. But in the time of the hold, the king always go to the war. They always face the war front. Even at that, there's a special place where they always stay. It's only when the war is tough, you now bring your king out to fight. You understand me? King versus king, that kind of thing. But also in your system, the root owner is not the person that's supposed to be doing all the work. You're supposed to create a user, somebody that will be able to use it. For example, in my own case now, I'm using the user. I'm not using the root. You see, this word user here, I can decide to give it a name. It can be in your system. It cannot be user. It can be called any other thing. You call your system when you are creating your own Ubuntu. There was a user you created. But the root user is supposed to be used when you want to do something that have to do with permissions. You want to do it. So take note of that. That's why I say you should go and do that on hash, because that on hash actually talked about something. So if I use the word sudo means I'm invoking power. You know, it's some religion. You say if you want to use some things, you have to call some power, you know, name of Jesus. Some people will call on that different name. So if you use the word sudo, meaning you are invoking some powers of the system. So sorry, that's the truth, right? Just the way when you want to run some application on Windows, they will tell you, do you want to run it as an administrator? You right click and you say run as administrator, right? In Windows, right? You can remember, say run as administrator. You right click and you say run as admin. The same thing as this one. But if you say run as admin, you are invoking the admin power. It's the same one with sudo. So I say sudo, but take note of this small word because we're going to be using it today. Sudo means invoke the power, the highest power. So, but the power can be in different dimensions. But if you have to invoke the sudo is always protected with a password. For example, now if I say sudo -s means superpower, the super admin. If I press enter, means I'm saying sudo. This thing I want to do now, I want you to change me from the regular user to the super user. So you're going to ask me for my password. The minute I put my password, most times password in Linux and in most times does not show. You will not see it, but make sure you type the right thing. If I press enter, see it has changed now to bash user. Because what I was using regular user before, which is user now. Now you can see it has changed now to bash. So if I now say sudo dash su, meaning, or sudo su, automatically I'm now moved to the power. I'm moved to the superpower, meaning I'm now using it. Anything I do here, we go. If I want anything to be destroyed in my system, I want to delete any application, I can delete it. I can run anything because sudo power most times has that supernatural power over your system. It has the power over your system because it's the owner's permission. So we don't always recommend you use it. Only when you want to really overuse some, if you want to perform some permission, maybe install something or delete something or remove something. So that is when you use that. So the same thing. Now let's go back. To go back, you just press, I think to go back, you just type exit. You see the word, it's very simple. Exit means come out. Exit, I'm now a super user. If I exit again, I'm now back to my user. Clear. So you can see, exit means come out. If I press exit again, the third exit is going to close the terminal. Just like the way you are closing your system, your stuff here. Okay, now let's demonstrate something. This is my, let's create a folder inside my document and enter my folder. Okay, now because let me not use my folder, let me use my desktop because my document has so many files inside. I don't want us to, to go back. I told you to go back, you just press // or dash. If you don't put slash to go back. Understand me? So if I say dash, wait, cd dash, that's back, cd dash meaning back. You can see, first of all, I said cd dash, I was in document down, but by the time I did cd dash, you can see I moved to user. So I'm now in my user directory. I say pwd, you can see it has moved to user. Before I was in my document. Now let's move to, now this is another thing. You can only enter the folder that is in front of you. If I'm in my home directory, I can only access folder that is in front of me. But if I move into document, maybe I'm moving into desktop now, DE, desktop, you can see desktop. Now I'm inside my desktop. You can see I'm in my desktop now. If I say pwd means print where I am. Now I can see it said I'm in my user. This is the owner of the system. This is the user, the account I'm using. And this is the directory I am working on. That's the folder I'm in. So inside this folder, you can see that I can only enter. So I cannot from this folder now go into this document. If I say cd document, it will not work because document is not in this environment. You understand me? So I can only enter a folder that's inside that I list. If I list something now, there's no folder here. So there's no way I can enter. If I say list-al, you can see it said there's a hidden folder here called cd localize. So if I say cd dot localize, you can see it said the localize is not a directory, it's a file. So that means I can only read it. To read means cat dot localize. You can see there's nothing inside that for me to see at all. That's why it didn't display anything. So that's why it didn't display anything. For it's okay. If I say cd dot what's inside? I don't know what's inside. Now I've entered a directory. You can see I've entered a directory that is hidden. But this directory may be something inside. But I'm inside a directory that is hidden. That's why I say cd dot. So cd dot dash meaning I'm back. You understand me? I've gone back to where I am. Okay, now let's go back. I've gone back to where I am. So ls. Now let's go back to the desktop. I'm not moving. I'm not inside my desktop. I say ls, nothing is inside my desktop. Actually, I don't have anything on my desktop. I come here. You can see in my desktop, there's nothing here. It's empty. think I actually made it empty because of this class. Now that's why when I list here, clear. When I list here, I didn't see anything. So there was actually nothing. Now let's create a directory. To make a directory, it's just the same thing, make. Just like make love, make fun, make fun, make something, make cloth, make shoe, meaning make. MK means make. DIR means directory, meaning folder. Now, what's the name of the folder? Let's call it Cloud Training for Enthusiast. May 2023. Enter. Now, let me list ls. Now you can see this is the folder I just created now. Now, if I say, what is it? ls minus L, it will tell me that it's a directory. This D means it's a directory. It means that the root or the person that owns the system in this directory that I just created have the right to read, and it has the read, write, execute, and you understand me? It's a directory, means the arrow, meaning the owner of this system can read, can write, meaning the write permission means you can delete. Are you getting me? You can modify. The execute permission means if there's a application inside, I can run the application. The read permission means I can see what's inside. Now, this XL for the second, this is for the second person, which is the group. If I create a group, there's already a group there called users. Anybody inside that group can read. Now, the next person, which is the regular user, can now execute. The last person can only execute file inside, but they cannot read the file inside. They cannot write the file inside. So now let's go. Now clear. Now, if I say ls again, means list. I've listed now. Now to enter inside the folder, okay, now let me show you what I just done, what I just did now. I think if I do like this now, I think I'll be able to see. Okay, now you can see, this is my desktop. This is the file I just created. Okay, now let's create file from here and see if it also appeared there. It's the same thing. If I say open new file, there's a new file. You see, I have to give it a name. You see the two steps I have to do. I have to give it a name. First of all, I will create a file. Secondly, I will rename it. Now let me call it test bash. Now if I go to my terminal, I say list what is inside here. You see, what I created there is also here. So to create here and to create there is the same thing, just that to create here is faster. So there I have to click, I have to open, I have to give it a folder, I have to name the folder, then before I can start working on it. So now if I want to enter inside any of the folder, I can say CD. CD means change directory. Let's go into Cloud Training for. So if I say C, if I just type C and type tab, you can do it the same thing on your system. Bash is very intelligent enough to look out for anything that starts with C. Since there's only one place thing that starts with C, it will just complete it for me. You can see it puts slash there because why? It's a directory. That's why it's putting slash. If I say enter, now I'm inside this folder. It's the same thing like you clicking the folder 2 times. I go to desktop, I click 2 times. The same thing here. See, there's nothing here. So if I list here now, ls, there's nothing here. So ls, there's nothing here. Now, if I want to go back, cd ... meaning go back. Now I'm inside my desktop back. So I'm in pwd, print working directory, and my desktop. Now, if I also come here the same way, if I come to desktop, if I click to, I want to go back. So to go back, I'll use this back arrow, right? If I use this back arrow, if I enter here now, I'm in my if I use this back arrow, so just see that cd ... as back arrow, back arrow, back arrow. Okay, now let's go now. What about you want to create more than 20 files? you can see this is where bash will now come to tell you that it's the superpower. I will just need to say make directory, all the files I want to create. Please can you just mention your name? Anybody should just mention name. I know I can remember BB, right? BB. No, let me go down. Okay. Now, can somebody just call your name? Call name. Call me one name. Make directory, make a folder for.
Yeah.
Huh? A name. Just give me one name.
Omole.
Shola.
Omonle. Who again?
Shola.
Shola. Okay. Another name?
Rachel.
Rachel. Okay, another name?
BB.
Baby. BB. Okay. B.
Yes.
B. Another name? Another name?
Blessing. Blessing.
Another name?
Solomon.
Solomon.
Solomon. Hey, Solomon, the mighty wise man. Okay, another name?
Marvelous.
James.
Marvelous. Marvelous. James. Another name?
Princess.
Princess.
Princess. Okay. Let me put my name there. Patrick. You can see, I want to create a folder for every one of us here. So what I just do is to write the first command and the names of the folder. And it will create all of them at once, ls. You can see, but if you want to do it here, using the stuff, if I want to use GUI, I have to create it. See all the folder I created, they're all here. If you do it the same thing, you see that it happens. See the power of, that's the power of bash. So if I want to create all the folder, I have to start creating it one after the other. I cannot create 20 folders at once using GUI. So if I say create 5,300 folders and I give you the names of the folder. So what you just do is that you're just going to copy all the name of the folder, the names I give you to create. You just put CD and make directory, mkdir front. It will create all of them. So before Julius or Marvelous say, okay, I'm to create 20 folder, make a new folder. 1, you name it. Folder 2, you name it. Folder 3, you name it. Before you get to folder 1,000 or folder 100, I'm asking next. You know, like, not be juju be that. So you see the reason why bash is fast. It's fast. I can just give it one instruction and create all the names. So you see the reason why bash is actually accepted. So now, if I want to delete all of them, one after the other, you see, it's also very, very easy. Now to delete a folder, let me delete first folder first. Let's delete Cloud Training for Enthusiast folder. Let's say remove. To delete a folder, you say ROM. ROM means remove. You know the word ROM now, same thing as remove. So it's just the same thing. I just don't want to use remove. I want to use ROM. So if you want to remove a folder, you have to use dash arrow F. Recursive means everything inside, while F means the folder. Remove with force, with root force. This is arrow and means remove, dash means with root force, meaning I want to remove it. I don't care what's inside, because you cannot remove on a folder. So now to remove all this folder, I can decide to just give it just the simple name. For example, I can say remove Cloud Training for Enthusiasts. That remove. What if I want to remove all the names? It's very easy. I can say remove. So the same thing, remove, you now call all the names here. Maybe Patrick. See, they say there are many Patrick here. To Patrick, okay, remove Patrick. So you can see, then remove with force. Who again? A princess. If I put princess, I think if I put princess now, Okay, princess. Huh? And let's say remove Rachel. We only have one arrow here, Rachel. You can see remove with force. I just leave the 3 names. You can press enter to remove. Well, Windows can also give you that. So Windows will say, well, I can also do that. There's nothing special there. What we just do, we just highlight all of them we want to remove, Abby, and select. Maybe we just come here and select. Maybe I have to select, press my control down, then press, maybe I want to remove BB now. Sorry, let me delete. Marvelous. Okay. Hold on, please. Let me remove this this thing showing on the screen. Okay, now I want to remove Omole and Julius. So I will just do double click. I will say move to bin. It will move, or I just move it to bin. Let's move to trash or delete. So it's still in my trash, right? It's in my trash, but it has not left. I will now come here and totally delete it. So I can say empty trash. Finally, I've left. Now, this is the same way. In Terminal, you can also do the same, like, oh, yeah, the same thing. Now, let's do something. There are other fast ways to remove everything. I can just say remove with force. And just put dot. What am I saying here is remove everything here. This dot means here. If I press enter now, all this file, you say may not be removed. Dot may not be removed. Okay, remove with force. Okay, wait. Okay, what other files do we have here? Let's see. Remove with force / asterisk. No, sorry. Control C. Yeah, sorry. We've not got into that part. So we've not got into that part. What I wanted to remove was something very, very heavy. Okay, now let's use the second command. Remove with force. Let's say P. Okay, remove with force. The home directory. What's the home directory? This is the home directory. / home / desktop. Let's say home. Display all the 55 possibilities, home directory. Let's say desktop. Then let's say, what do we have inside here? We have something here. We just use this powerful tool. So you see as simple as that thing happened. You look as if nothing really happened, right? When I did this, it looked like nothing really happened, right? But something have happened. What I just told him that remove with root force this file, this directory here, everything that is here. So it has removed all the file we created. If I say ls, you are not going to see anything. You're not going to see anything here. I say cd desktop, you're not going to see anything because I've removed everything inside that file. So ls, why? How did it happen? This guy just removed everything. For example, I want to go back and create everything. You see, I can just use my arrow. Just go to the last command I ran. I just run it again to create everything. If I go to ls to list that, I've created it again. If I want to go again and delete everything, I can use my arrow back. If I run this command now, it will delete everything. If I list now, what do I have? Nothing here. If I go back again, it has created everything. At least everything. So you see how sweet it is. But you cannot do that using Windows like that, because you have to go What you've deleted it. Now you have to create again, create all of them, delete all of them, create one after the other, delete every other. So you see, using script is faster than using that. We have established that. You guys can agree with me, right? Now, let me also tell you something. I can copy this code and give it to you. You will run it on your system. It will work the same way. But sometimes if you want to create a file, for example, if I'm creating a file using Mac, you are creating a file using Ubuntu, you're going to be having different way that it's going to work. Because my own Mac, I have to right click, then you go to file, but you have to use your own system to navigate where to do. For example, now I have to come to file and say create new folder, understand? Then I give the folder name. This is how it works. But when you are running a bash script, a bash is bash everywhere. As far the language, just like come in English means come everywhere. Understand me? So you don't need to be learning everything. And use up arrow to go back to your last command. I use down arrow to go back to your front command. So you can see everything you do, every command you run is actually still in your system. Okay, now try and do that on hash very well. Can somebody, if you know you've completed that on hash, just tell us what you did so that let's just try before we go forward. Who can tell us how to create a file if you finish that on hash? How to create a file, not a folder now. Can somebody tell me? Hello?
Touch, then the name of the file.
Beautiful. Who is that? Who mentioned that?
Princess.
Princess. Wow. It's good. It's good. Touch and the name of the file. Good. Okay, now let's do touch. Touch means touch, just to touch. Touch now, to touch somebody now. Abi, is that not touch? Is that not to spell touch? Right?
Yes.
So it's not a big grammar now, Abi. So touch means touch it. So if you say touch means you create. So if touch the name of the file, so it's going to be an empty file. Let's say touch. Let's call our name again. So instead of calling the name, I can decide to just do like this. I just go back to all this file created. I'll just go straight to the beginning and change that mkdir to touch. So what will happen is that it's going to create all these things as file. Because I did not put any extension, so it's going to assume the default extension, which is text. So you're going to take the default extension, which is text. So if I say touch, so you're going to create all those ones as, not now, it's not like a directory now, because touch means file. Why mkdir arrow, make directory means directory. So touch means file. So if I say touch now, so it's going to create all the document, but this time, because I did not tell him the type of file he wants to create, it will take the default file, which is a directory. Understand me? So where did we create that file? I think it's in desktop. So if I go,
Excuse me, sir.
I can hear you.
So can you change the default settings?
The default settings for what?
Like how it immediately made it a directory. Can you make it something else?
No, when you create touch, the file is there, right? ls -a. The file is there. Touch cannot give you a directory. All these things you are seeing here, they are not directory. Because if I say ls-l, you will see that the first, okay, this was the directory we created before. Now, when I say touch create a file, the challenge that we had is that because the name already exists, it did not create it. That's the problem, because this directory here means this is a directory. You understand me? That's why they don't create it, because the name, in Linux, and not even in Linux, in any infrastructure, you cannot use one name for two things.
Okay.
Create a file and a document and bearing the same name, because the computer will say, okay, where do I want to save it? I've already kept this name for this directory. Creating it as a file inside the same place, it will give it an issue. So
Okay.
let's give it, let's edit it. Let's just give the file name an extension. For example, we are creating a text file. Okay, I put .txt. Now txt means text, Abi. Then .xlm. Okay, what about Microsoft Word? .word, what's the extension for Word? Okay,
DOC.
Huh?
DOC.
DXC.
Oh, DOC. DOCX.
OCX. That's for
X.
Microsoft Word. Okay. For picture is what?
JPG.
Yes, good. So every time you see your picture, look at it very well. At the end of the picture name, you're going to see .jpg. We have .jpg. We have .jpeg. Are you getting me? Well, then we have the capital letter JPG. Then we also have, so let's use the small one. Oh, can tell me the full meaning of JPG. Okay, the photographers came together and they say, instead of everybody to be having different name, let's get a single name that everybody can just use. And when they came up with a name, they wanted a name that anybody can use, so that that reader, that loader, every computer you create, you will just put that interpreter so that everybody can view picture. So they formed that word JPEG. It means joint photography and graphics. As professionals, understand me? JPG means joint photography and graphics. Then we have JPEG. You understand? So we also have MPG, which is motion picture. You understand me? MPEG. So when you see MPEG, don't just think that maybe they are just trying to find something to do. So in here, it's an organization. Everything is an organization. So let's look at it from the Google. JPG, full meaning. So you can see joint photographic expert group. That's JPEG. So let's look at MPEG. MPG, meaning. You can see it's motion. No, MPEG. It also means that's JPG though, but let me just complete it. MPEG. Moving picture expert group. So you can see it's not really like something that fell from heaven, right? It's people that came together, an association that came together and have an extension. So if you see TXT, which means text, meaning. So henceforth, don't just accept anything because they call it anything. Try and understand why is it being called. Understand me? Mean text. Tomorrow, X together. You see the meaning of tomorrow, X together. But the meaning of text, TXT, is actually text. This one is another text. Don't take this one. This one is another cyber crime. I don't know how to go to it yet. But let's come here. This is the one I'm talking about, right? So it means text. So if you say any extension, most companies that create a file, that create a company, always give it the company name. Like doc means document, document X is from Microsoft Word. Like SML is a graphics company. Like so and so on and so forth. That's it clear. ls. You can see now, see those names I created, and because I put an extension, you can see they were all created now. If I say ls minus L, you see that the one that does not have D on top is a what? A file. The one that have D on top is a directory. If I say, okay, list with reverse, you need to tell me, see, you just listed, instead of listing from B now, it started from S. So the alphabetical, so you saw that use of library that you did in school that time. They are not in waste, right? They are coming to play now. This is library, how to arrange documents. So this one arrange from, if I say with arrow, arrow means start from the highest alphabet, which is Z, Y, then regularly start from A, B, C. So the same library comes in here. So that when you hear library, means the arrangement of things, of information. Now let's continue. If I want to remove all the text, I don't need to put with root force. I just need to just mention the name. Then let's say Patrick. Okay, now let me do something. Let's create more text message, more text file. Let's say Tosh. Let's say Jude. I know Jude is not here. Jude.txt. Peter. No, I'm not. Let me, because I'm using name, let me use the appropriate name. Jude.txt. Peter.txt. Julius. Julius dot JPEG. Maybe it's a picture that was taken of Julius, so it's saved in JPEG. So if I type enter now, you see that I have so many J and I have so many P. I want to delete all the J. What I would do, instead of highlighting, looking for all the J and be deleting them one after the other, I can just say remove J, anything that starts with J, white card. White card means and anything. So if I say remove J white card, means what my learners will look out for, what this bash language will look out for, will look out for anything that starts with J. So like this, it's going to remove Julius, James, you understand? It's going to remove them as file. But the challenge now is that the one that have document, it's going to return an error. But to remove the remaining ones that does not have document, because you cannot remove document like this. So if I want to remove document, I say, okay, you should remove everything. I can just put with root force. With root force. If I do like this, meaning you're going to remove both files and documents. That of J, anything that start with J, mind you, is a small letter J, but there's no small letter J here. Everything is a big letter in uppercase. So let me put uppercase here. If I do this, it's going to remove all this J. But before we do that, let's remove everything that ends with TXT. Everything that ends with T. What do I need to do? I will say white card means everything dot T. If I say everything dot T, what is going to look out for? Everything that starts, that have the extension, dot extension with T. So Peter is anything. So what is going to be looking out for is this. So if I press enter, if I list now, you see that all the T was removed in terms of directory. Now let's remove it in terms of file and say TE. Let me put white card again. Enter. So what will happen is that it's going to look out for things that start, that have T, and that end everything. If I say LS now, have you noticed that Nothing ends with txt again. Because why? I said everything before dot, so the Linux is going to look out for. Where is dot? You say, oh, this one is here. We will remove this one. We will remove this one. If I clear now, ls. So what if I want to remove everything that starts with B? What will I do? So this is a directory. What should I do now? Can somebody suggest? Huh? Just give it a try now. Come on. We are this is a transaction. Say something. I want to remove everything that with B. Okay, what I would do is same thing. I will say remove. Let's remove a folder. You know, I told you to remove folder. You say arrow M dash arrow F, meaning with root force. I'm removing a folder. There's another one called arrow mkdir arrow, meaning remove directory. I'm going to be using that later, but let's use this one for now. Now, remove with root force B and anything that continues. So what I will just do, I will just put this B. I will now put wildcard. So what it will look for anything that have with B. The remaining thing, it will remove everything. But if I put B and I put I and I put wildcard, so it's going to look for anything that I have with BI and select it. So now let's do that. Let's remove anything with B. So I want to remove everything with B. Enter. I say ls now. You see, no B here. Because I've said everything that start with B and the rest, you should remove it. Clear?
Sir,
Go ahead.
what does the asterisk mean?
White card.
White card. Oh, please, what is white card again?
White card means everything.
Everything, okay.
Yes, white card. This is the white card. White card. C-A-R-D. It's wide. It's very wide. The card is very wide. It's also represented like this. So anytime you see this asterisk it's called white card. And it means if you don't put anything before it, it will remove everything. If you put something before it, it will search for that thing before it. The remaining thing that is not there. For example, now, let's say LS. You can see we have Marvelous, we have Princess. I want to sort. So I don't want to be deleting everything. Let's delete James, all the James. What should I do? I will say, let's delete all the J. No, let's make this thing more relaxed. Let's go to CD. Let's go to directory. J. Yeah. J A. Me, right? I enter inside the directory J A. Now let's create file. Let's create so many files now. Let me go here. All the files created before, they are all here, right? Let's enter at least. They are all here. I want to delete. Let me create more files. So let's go. This one, this is Jude. This is what I created before. This is the one I created that first time. I press enter, ls, you can see clear. Ls, you see everything is here.
Sorry, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please. How were you able to recall previous commands? Well, of course, I can see we are recalling the commands you've input earlier on.
You just press your arrow button up to show you all the command.
Okay.
That's another interesting thing about Bash. So you can, even though if you can repeat one command 20 times. Are you getting me? By not cramming it, you understand? See, all the command we did from the beginning, they are out there. So, okay. Now you see, now we have all these files. These ones, they are all files. I want to delete all these files. Maybe let's start again. I want to delete all the Patrick, all the P. What do I need to do? I will say remove, because they are file. I don't need to use root force, right? Then what are the file name? Remove. let's say Princess, Patrick. Take note, case sensitive, case sensitive. Take note of that. This P here is small letter. So if I remove all the P here and I did not say here, you want to remove this. If I remove this, so this and this, they have different characteristics. If I say P, on a small letter P, white card. So sort of me saying Peter, Princeway, Julius. Okay, let me make that. Let's say Posh, Pete, Princeway. I'm deliberately using small letter. Princeway dot JPEG. Maybe there's a picture file. I want to delete. I want to create a picture file. Then let's say Princess.
Sorry.
I can hear you. Please, you wanted to say something.
Please, the difference between this touch and the make directory, can you like go over it again, please?
Make directory means directory. The word directory means folder. So if I say make directory means make a folder, I will give you the folder name. But if I say touch means file, create file. That means of the word touch. So make that, so you cannot make the mistake. Say you want to create a file, you mistakenly create a folder. It's not compulsory. It's not going to be right? Because there are two, the syntax are far different. So make.
Please, can you say that again? So make directory, mkdir.
Yes, it's make a folder.
Make a folder, okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Blessing. Yeah. What
Continue, please. Please go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
is that you said something. You said if you put asterisk and you don't put you said something. Can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Am I on? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
You said something. If you put the asterisk and you don't put a character before the asterisk, maybe a capital letter B or small letter B, that is going to be, it's going to wipe out all the file. Did I get that correctly?
Yes.
So automatically we can say you can use it for clear instead of typing clear.
You can use it for clear instead of typing clear. Just that you cannot use it for clear. You cannot use it for clear. Clear will only just remove all your command, all the thing here, but the file will still be there. Okay. You see what I just did now? Okay. When I did arrow M asterisk dot, all the file we created, everything has been deleted. If I say ls now, you see. So if I want to create it again, let's create it again. Create. So most times that people are saying that they format their system, a virus attack their system. What actually happened is that whenever you download a file that you don't know where that file is from, there could be a script, hidden script inside that you're not even aware of. And that script is just a white card script. Somebody can just send you a file, and the file, what is in that file is just arrow M with root force. Asterisk, yeah. So you see, what will happen to your file? All your file is off. Just one strike, you're running that script. I say ls, now you see all these files that are here. Just one small strike like this. Everything about your folder, everything will be off, and you will not be able to, unless you go and run a recovery file. Everything will be off. And to make your matter worse, God forbid, somebody can even do it like this and say, move. But when you're using a move command, you have to use sudo because move requires high level. Sudo move all this file here and convert it to dot. I've not tried this script before. Let's just try together. MOV. Asking me for my password. Okay, move. Now, what happened now if I say list? Okay. Now let's try something now. Move asterisk, let's say dot JPEG.
Sorry, sir, please, before you go further, sir,
Continue.
can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
With this password, when you use the sudo and it's requesting for password, how do you create the password? Is it password for your the laptop, or password is created before? I don't get.
When
How
you
do you get the
are
password?
creating your Linux, it asks you for password, right? When you're creating your Linux,
Okay.
like that password is your main password. It's your ownership password. It's your root password. Okay. If I run this script, meaning
Okay, so that's when you're
yes. If I run this script, what I'm telling the system is that everything here that ends with JPEG, convert it to this extension. So you see all this photo file now. If I run this script, it want to convert with .mov is not a directory. Move. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm supposed to put asterisk here. Yeah, that's the only way to work. Move. Rename. Move means rename. Rename everything here into. Excuse me. No such file or directory. Move here into here. Sudo move. MV means move. No, rename. Yes, rename. There's no file like that. We have Peter. Oh, no. Oh, there's no Peter. Okay, it will not work because actually there is no capital letter that has JPEG at the beginning. And hence, so I mean, I have to convert this into lowercase. It's not a directory. Okay, dots MOV. Let's say move it to P dot MOV. I'm just trying to run a script. I've not run this script before, but I'm just trying to do something. But let's use this regular script that I've run before. But sometimes when I'm trying to say, sometimes you just need to also think and be creative. That's another powerful thing about bad bash. It gives you the power to manipulate things yourself. Understand? What I wanted to do is to convert all this name into another extension. You understand? So there's a script I can run. I think I want to have to generate it, that to convert all this name into another something else. For example, if I say remove rename, if I want to rename any file, maybe I'll say move Patrick, let's say PA Patrick, then rename it to another thing. I can call it Paul. So this actually means rename. What will happen is that it's going to change this Patrick to Paul. That's the meaning of this MV. So if I say rename, let's see that script that will run just now. So normally I'm supposed to have that same stuff, but it's not giving me what I want here. I don't know why. Okay. It's not giving me what I want here because there are actually more than one file. That's the reason. Okay, now let's remove all the files. Let's say remove all the file that end with JPEG. So remove all the file that ends with JPEG, or that ends with J and anything before it, without JPEG or Julius or J something, meaning J, everything that comes. So this one means any name, A, B, C, D, even it's 500 words, dot J. So what Linus will look at for? We'll look at for dot first, and we'll look at for J. So even though it's Peter, Paul, Prince, to delete everything that ends with J. If I press enter, you see that these two will no longer be there. Now, if I'm removing everything that start with B, I will just say, okay, remove B asterisk, as white card means everything there. So it will remove all the B. You can see there's no B. If I want to remove Paul, what should I do now? It's what? Arrow M what? Arrow M what? Are we practicing it at all? Are we even doing it at all? Okay, I think this time I have to stop. Let me see you guys do it. Because if you're actually walking along with me, you're supposed to be able to know that it's P, white card. This P means first one. Enter. So everything P will be go. So take note. This white card means anything before dot some name. And this one means P, anything after.
Okay.
So everything, if I want to remove J, I can see J start with J, right? So there are so many things before J, because we have James, we have Jude. So I don't want it to search for either one. I just want to be sure of this J. What I will just do, I'll say, remove everything that I have with J. Even though I don't want with anything in front of it. J with anything in front of it. That's the meaning of this. If I say remove J.
That's the white card.
White card. Finish. So to look for J and anything in front of it. So this white card means anything. If I press enter, you should remove all the J and anything in front of it. If I say you should remove everything that ends with T, what I will do, I will just say everything that ends with T. Understand me? So I'll say remove everything that ends. What is the only thing that ends with T here? That's this one. I press enter. You see everything that ends with T. So this advantage is this, is that in case I have 500 files, I want to remove all of them. Maybe all of them might be corrupted. I want to remove all of them, but I want to sort it by what ends with something. So that me to be, first of all, sorting out the name, sorting out everything. I will not be highlighting, then I will not press delete. No. What I will just do, I'll just use the white card. So you're going to be seeing more of this white card because it's easy for everybody. It's dangerous, yet also very nice to use. So now let's go. Now that's the first way to create file. The first way to create file, you use touch. What's about another way to create file? There are one way to create file. I think we have up to like 4 to 5. And we have different language. So I can use touch. Touch will create a new file. Let's say, okay, I want to delete everything here. What should I do now? I want to delete everything here. What should I do?
Remove wildcard.
Remove wildcard.
LS.
Yeah. Dot
List.
No, just finish.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
You don't have to identify that list?
No.
Okay.
So if I say remove wildcard dot finish, it will just delete everything. I press enter now. This 2 file is telling you that there are some 2 hidden files. It's telling you that you cannot remove the 2 files, but this because it's not a file, it's a folder. But these ones here, he has removed them. That's what it's telling me. So if I say ls, you can see everything has been removed. Now, I want to create a file, and I want to write something inside that file. You can see, I don't need to create a file first, open the file, and work inside. I can use the word echo. Echo means say. So I say echo love. You're going to say love. Love. So I say echo.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I'm not talking to you. So I say echo princess beautiful. So it's nothing. Can you mute, please? Can you mute, please? Can you mute, please?
Don't talk your mouth.
Can you mute, please? Okay. So if I say echo princess is beautiful, it's nothing. This word echo means say, just to speak. Not like I want you to say it's beautiful. So I mean, echo means just say it. So, but you can also use that echo to write something inside a file. For example, if I say echo princess, I just want it to be separate, but it's not compulsory. Echo princess is beautiful. I know she's very beautiful, right? Yeah, and I will now say, okay, echo it inside. This word, this thing means inside. Inside a file called princess file. Princess dot text, or let's say JPEG. Let's call it a JPEG file. So if I press enter, what Linux will do for me, Linux will echo this princess is beautiful inside this file. Princess.
So echo means to say.
If I say ls now, you see, it has created a file. Remember, there was no file called princess.jpg, right? But when I say echo princess is beautiful inside this file, so it created this file first. I now wrote this princess is beautiful inside this file. How do you know that princess is beautiful inside this file? To read any file, you use the word cat. You know, cat, na pussycat, cat. So cat means read. If I say cat princess P, it will read what's inside. What is inside? It says princess is beautiful. If you don't believe me, let's open the folder. So I don't look as if we are doing something that is secret. Okay, where is the file called princess? Okay, we were inside the folder. Okay, now let's look at the folder we are. We are inside PWD Prince. We are inside James folder. So
Sir?
I can hear you.
So the first one that you did where you said echo, then bracket love, then you clicked enter, then it came out love. That's just saying, like, it's just putting an output for love. That's just saying love out.
Yeah.
It's not, okay.
Yes, he didn't even do anything. I just said love. He just went love. That's all.
Okay.
So
But
now,
you need the asterisk.
yeah. But because I say JPEG file, it will not go to open, because if I say JPEG file, there's a loader in my system called JPEG. But the only way I can see this file is to use a reader. We call it an IDE, which everybody is going to install. But I want us to take it step by step, right? The VS Code. It's an IDE that we're going to be using. An IDE is just an application that can read any file. It's embedded to read any file. It's really the file that you've already installed the extension. For example, we are in.
I got you though. Fine, man.
So much, please.
You did I make my life.
This is not right. Rachel, please help us. Please. You'll be surprised when we are not talking now. When we upload this class, people are going to hear that part. Because sometimes we don't always edit our stuff. So I go to my folder. This is VS Code. I just want us to see. Don't worry, we will. 2020. Okay, let's go to the folder we created just now. I say open folder, and the folder is going to be here. On save. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna open folder for me. We are in this James folder, in this desktop. We are in James folder. Save. Now, this is the folder. I open inside this folder. Now you see that there's a file inside called. It's telling me that you cannot open an image because there's a loader here that is trying to read. But you and I know that it's not a JPEG file, right? It's actually a Word file. Now let's use another example. Let's echo another thing. Let's move this extension. Let's use TXT extension, text extension. Let's echo it again. So what it will happen now, by the time I come here, you're going to see it now as text. So Princess is beautiful, right? If you also go to the file, you click the file double times, it's going to give you that Princess is beautiful too. This is the desktop, James. Now, this is Princess is beautiful. Now let's delete. Now if I want to write many things inside, maybe so many lines. If you use one arrow, that one arrow says that only write something. For example, if I have a file, maybe somebody you've been writing things, you'll be write a whole document, a whole book, and they're in one document. I want to overwrite everything inside. I can use this script to overwrite everything inside. Let's take, for example, I think I have some, okay, let's take, for example, I have a Word document here. Let me just go to my notepad. Go to my notepad. Hold on, let me pause, stop sharing. I think they may have maybe some confidential things inside. Okay, let me open my notepad. Let me go to this. Okay, this is what we did yesterday. Control C. Okay. Let me share my screen now. Now, I go to this place. That Princess is beautiful that we write just now. See, if I save, just like opening Microsoft Word, don't worry, everybody is going to install this thing because it's a class too. It's also part of our class here. How to use that IDE. We are going to also learn it here. Now, if I come here, say clear. The file, we have one file here, right? Clear. Sorry. Clear. If I say ls, you see, we have two files here. That's clear. We have, if I say cat, princess.txt, you see, so many things that I copied inside, they're all here. Now, if I want to wipe everything here, all I will just do is just say, I'll just say cat, excuse me, let me clear it again.
And sir, cat is for to do what exactly?
To read. If you want to read any file inside, just say cat to read it for you. If you have the permission to read. If I say
read, or it will read how?
If I say cat, the name of the file, it will read what it will open the file for you and tell you what's inside. For example, now this is a document, right? Princess.txt. The document. If I want to read everything inside, I'll just say cat, the name of the file, which is princess.txt. It will open it. I will read it. See, everything is inside the file inside. These are the things inside. Remember, if I just told you we created it just now, right? Right, we wrote it inside. So if you want to read anything, you use cat to read cat.
And what are all these things that's there now?
I was one that I just copied and paste inside.
Okay.
For example, I want to overwrite everything inside. So that I need to go there and be erasing. I'll just go again. You see, I'll say princess is beautiful. Princess is beautiful. Remember this file, this princess.txt has so many files inside, right? But immediately I use this single arrow, I press enter. It will delete everything that was there before. And I'll just put only princess is beautiful. If I say cats now, you see that it was only princess is beautiful that you see there.
So the arrow is not just for inputting, like to put something into.
Yes, it's used to overwrite.
Overwrite, okay.
So you can use a single arrow, mean echo princess is beautiful inside this file. So if, for example, I want to damage somebody's system, maybe it basically has so many things inside, I can just write a single script like this. It will just overwrite everything that's inside to just replace it. You see, that's how powerful this thing. But what if I don't want to overwrite? I want to write behind after everything that was written. I want to go the next line. What I will do, I will use this double line. If I put it double, so this next one means go to the next line. So you can see the first one means overwrite. The second one means go to the next line. If I say enter now, I want to see that I want to have two cats now. You now see princess is beautiful, princess is beautiful. So does that mean if I put the next line, it's going to mean no, it's just two. So it's just two, please. So like that. Understand me? The more I do it, as far as double line, the more it gives to keep going to the next line. So you see, that is another way to create a file. You can create a file either using a touch. You can create a file using echo, or if you use echo, you must use these two lines. Another way you can also create a file is you can also create a file using a writer, just like an application. Just like the way we have Microsoft Word, we have text, we have Notepad. You know, in Windows, we have Notepad, right? We have Microsoft Word, we have text, comes with the system. In Bash, there's also a writer that comes with the system called V. It's called V. Default, it comes to your system. If you upgrade it, you can come Vim or Nano. So these are applications that comes with your text editor. So, but in our case, we're going to be using Vim or Vim. So if you use Vim command, the Vim command automatically open a file. For example, now we have princess here, .txt, right? So what it will do, this one, it will not read it. Read means to read it out. Why Vim means to open it as a document. You can see. Now, if I say, now you can see, this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. This one means line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8, and so on and so forth. You can see, say princess, I've already written just 3 lines, 3L and 66B. That's the character. So if I count it, you're going to see 66.
So what's the full meaning of Vim? What's the full meaning of Vim?
Vim is an application, you know, like the way regular application is, right?
Okay,
That
so
you attach to its application name, Vim. But you can look out for the meaning of Vim on the internet. I think Vim meaning. So a cardinal number, no. Vim definition and meaning, Collins English. So Vim definition, Virginium. So, but the actual word is Linux language. That actually means that is a Linux application. It's an application that actually enable you to write in a CLI environment. So you're going to be using Vim and Nano every time. So, but take note of the word Vim. So, but when you want to write, how do you save? If you want to write a Vim, after using Vim to open a file, if you have the permission to write on that file, you press I after typing V. The next thing you press is I. I mean insert. Immediately you press I, you see automatically it changed to insert. If you press escape, meaning you're out of that place. This is what you're going to say at the first time. When you press I, means insert. When you press I, automatically you cannot write inside. Take note of this thing. If I go to the next line, I said, Pius loves princess. Princess is a virgin. Pius loves virgin. I think I should not be using Pius now. Let me use one fine name here. So princess is beautiful, princess is virgin. Why won't Pius love? Okay, that's a discussion for another day. So now this is what I wrote now. I'm using Vim to write on it. So if I press I, meaning I press I, this insert comes out. Meaning you see this insert, mean I can keep writing. But the disadvantage is that if I make any typographical error, it will not correct me because Vim does not have, most Vim does not have that character to test edit, to look at the test and correct for you. So you should know how to use the right word very well. That's why if you're using Vim, most times you must know how to use English. English language is part and parcel of computer science. It's called linguistics, it's part. So let's say, if I mistype it and I say Pius, meaning of instead of me spelling Pius, I press Puyos, it will not correct me. So if I say Puyos, love. So instead of love, you say I've misspelled it, not correctly. Because Vim does not. Good. Thank you for that. So Vim does not give you the permission to test edit, but it's a very powerful tool that we use. So if you want to delete, you cannot alight and delete. No, you have to delete it line by line. There are so many ways you can also use it. But for now, just understand this. So if I want to save, after you finish writing, the next thing you do, you press escape. When you press escape, you see that insert is no longer there. It means that you have written, but it's not yet saved. You press colon, that's shift colon. You see this column here, meaning I'm done. So now the question is, do I want to save or I will just want to exit? If I press Q, I will just exit. But if I press W before it, W means save, Q means quit. So if I press column WQ, meaning save this. If I don't want to save everything I've written, I just want to quit only, I just press Q, which means quit. And if I press enter, mean now, I press enter, you see, it will exit. Take note of that. Let's go again, let's run it again. Vim, to work on it, to write on it, you press I, you type, let's say.
Sorry, sir, I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, blessing. I'm using Vim on my Ubuntu now, but it's saying Vim not found, but
Yes.
can be installed with sudo apt.
Yes, use VI. VI comes with all system, right? But you can update it with Vim. When we are talking about installation, we're going to use Vim. Use VI is the same thing, but just that VI is the lower version of Vim, right? Your users use VI to still work for you. Now to write, you press I and type. If I press I, means insert. I start typing as if I have permission to write on that file. When I'm done typing, the next I do, I press escape. I'm out. You can see escape. I'm out. You now press shift colon. W means save. Q means quit. This exclamation mark means come out. Out. If I say ls, you can see I'm out. If I say cat, princess.txt, you see the thing I wrote, you can see here. All the things I use Vim to write, they are all here. Now, how do you? I can hear you.
So you wrote W, which means to save, Q
Yes.
to quit, and exclamation mark to come out.
Yes.
And why do you save like that exactly? Can't you just save with W and exclamation mark to come out?
Well, you can do that, but I don't think is the best way because it will still be open somehow. Let's try that. Let's see. I, then W, excuse me. Then you have to type escape W. You can see the issue is that it's going to tell you have saved, right? But you've not really given me power to remove it. So what it will do, it will just save it there and it will not come out. You are still going to be in that environment. You understand me? So that file to save, maybe you want to write so many things. As you are writing, you press W. So you're writing, press W, it will be saving for you, but it will not quit that environment.
Okay.
I want to write more. I come here, all right?
All right, sir.
Yeah. Julius, testing. Then I press escape, colon, W. It will save. Say, written. Are you getting me? Line 11, written, but it's not quit. But if you want to quit, you have to do colon, W, Q. And now, if you don't put nothing, it will still quit. But I would like to put now because it makes it smarter. By the time you cat means read. You can see everything is there. Well, how do you now use Vim to create a new file? If you use Vim, your bash will look into your system and see if that name is there. For example, if I say Vim princess, you can see the princess is here. So it's going to open that file. What if there is no file like that? It will create another one. Let's say Vim PDF. Now, there's no file there called Vim that ends with PDF. It will create that file automatically. So you can decide to write. I say created a new file. Then I press escape. If I press quit, Q, and for example, if I press Q, what will happen? Nothing will happen. It will that file that I wanted to create, it will not create it. So let's go. I don't want to press escape now. I don't want to escape now. Quit now. What is it saying? Okay, excuse me, control. Q, enter, Q, something, there's an error that happened. So let's go again. Vim, princess. Let's say I, put name, say testing, new file with Vim creation. Then I press escape to colon W Q exclamation mark. See, if I press LS now, see it has created the file. The file was not there. What we had before was TXT, but I created another file with PDF extension. You can see. Now, if I want to read what's inside, say card princess dot PDF. You can see testing new file with Vim creation. Clear. So you can see you can use Vim to create a new file. You can also use Nano to create a new file. Any stuff you can use to create a new file. So I've taught 3 places to create file. To create an empty file with nothing inside, you use echo. You use a touch. To create a file, and you want to write something inside, you echo something inside. Then to create a file and start writing inside immediately and saving inside, use Vim. So when you are seeing some scripts, some commands, you're going to be seeing something like that. Don't be surprised. It's nothing new, just one of those things, just the fastest way. Because, imagine I want to write something inside. I want to write so many things. So I will now say touch. After I run that touch, I will now open the touch with Vim. I will now start writing inside. So you can see it takes longer time. So I can just vim into it directly and start writing what I want to write. If what I want to write is short, I can just use echo. Echo what I want to write, just echo it inside the file. It will create the file and echo it inside and move on. You understand me? So those are the three ways you create a file: echo, vim, and what? Touch. So that's clear. So now let's run through what we've learned today. I said,
yeah, please, I have a question, please.
Go ahead, please.
Yes. Initially, you said Bash is a program, is a language of Linux.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, recently, you also talk about Vim and Vim. You know, Vim. You also say Vim is an application. Now, my question is that Bash can it? Okay, you know, Windows have something similar to this, to CL. Windows also has its own CLI. Now I'm asking, this Bash, this Vim, does it run on, can it run on Windows? Can it run on Windows CLI? And can this Bash be installed on Windows CLI? Or before this normal Windows, there should be DOS, that is a disk operating system. Now, can this Bash run on either DOS or Windows CLI now? And also this Vim.
The answer is yes. All kernel most times have Bash interpreter. So although I'm trying, that one is about going deeper into system management, right? So most kernel comes with Bash interpreter. What we are using is Bash interpreter, but you have to invoke it. It's not on default. It's not our default. So you have to use Bing Bash to invoke it in Windows CMD, command line interface. Now, another thing is this. Now, if we can do that, why going through the stress and installing Ubuntu? The reason is that the way the files are arranged in Windows is different from the way files are arranged in Ubuntu system. You understand me? And that is the appreciation of want to learn. Now, I haven't said that. Then, what's the difference between Bash and Vim? Bash is a program, it's a scripting language, right? Vim is an application inside Bash. Just like the way we have Microsoft, we have Windows operating system, and every Windows operating system comes with a default text editor called Notepad, right? So every Windows comes with Notepad by default, you know. It comes with Notepad. It also comes with another one. I think text. What's on that text editing feature?
I think it's text.
We have text. We have Notepad. So with Bash script, Bash environment, let's say Linux system, comes with, at the default, it has VI. You also have Nano, Vim. You understand me? Nano and Vim. I think there are still more, but those are the most popular one that is being used. Okay, maybe now next time we'll talk about Nano, but let's focus on this. I think I'm able to answer your question, right?
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, good. Now, I want us to practice what we've learned. My 1 hour, 30 minutes, I've exceeded, I've entered your own time. Now, this is your time. It's now for you to now share your screen and practice. I want to see everything we've learned today. I want you to also, I know some of us have been practicing along, right? If you have been practicing along, let me see your hand. Raise up your hand. Let me see. Okay. See, the challenge about our lab, it always looks simple. It always looks like television until it's time for you to now do it. You see, as simple as that Vim is, people have found so many. In fact, it took me time to master it. Until you practice it, you don't know. So let me see your hand again if you have been following up. I only have three hands up here. We have Mole and Solomon. Wow. Princess, what happened?
Yeah, I've been following.
We're not seeing you. I'm not seeing your hand. If I'm just sharing more,
I'm trying to look for the reaction icon.
you see it after share. You see reaction there.
I've seen.
Okay, let me
But
see. Let me see the
it's
left
not
hand.
giving me the clap one.
Yeah. We only have BB. What happened? Why are you not practicing? Keep your hand up. Let me see. Keep your hand up. Okay. We have out of 7. Rachel, what happened? Wow, 4. Umoli, Samuel, Solomon, 4 out of 6. 2 people left because I just said, let me stop recording.